I'm not entirely sure if we've decided whether we want to do that.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you about this. I may have made an executive interior design decision.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we're giving you an update on weeks 2 and weeks 3 on our home renovation journey. If you're new to our channel, please don't forget to subscribe below, and you can find some older videos that we've done where we told you about our process to buying our first home when we became first-time buyers in August 2020, and we're starting on a massive home renovation project. So today we'll be discussing 4 big topics that happened over the last couple of weeks with you guys. The key things that we're going to cover today are the steel in the loft, the chimney breasts coming out, and we've got some great pictures for you guys, and also a new staircase going up to the loft and having to make some decisions, and a little bit of an update on the decision we decided on this week about whether we board up the ceiling for the first floor area. So let's get into it. Let's start with the steel that went into the floor in the loft area. So one of the big things you guys will know is that we took out the chimney breast, and in order to take out the breast of the chimney, you still have to support the actual chimney that's up in the loft area. We've had to put 6 huge steel beams basically across the floor of the loft area to support not only the kind of new loft conversion that we've got going in, but also to support the chimney that's remaining there. We went up into the loft again, and actually this time Sean came this time too, and he didn't have a hard hat on either, guys, which is naughty. But
Listen, it was safe, okay? The steel beams were supporting the roof. I was more than happy to do that.
Anyway, he went up into the loft, proving my point, and he got to see it for himself as well. We took some more pictures, and if you look here, you can see a panoramic shot of the new area, and what you can see is those red steel beams going across everywhere. So that was pretty cool. It was nice to see the structure and that being in set. And then we basically had from there gone down to look at the chimney breasts, and we could see all the chimney breasts had been removed. You might remember our rooms used to look like this on the ground floor area, and they now look like this. You can see there's 2 chimneys that's been removed from the ground floor, and then there's another 2 chimney breasts that have been removed from the bedrooms in the first floor.
And what's incredible is that just by looking at the removal of the chimney breast, we have now made so much more space in the rooms where we can, have inbuilt cupboards or anything that we want, which we didn't necessarily have that space before because of the chimney breast being in the way.
Yeah, and we couldn't put the beds on that side of the wall where the chimney breasts were, so now we're able to put them onto that side of the wall, and so the room is just a lot more open when people walk in, and I think we get about 12 to 14 more inches in space just by removing them, so that's pretty cool as well.
It's also worth noting that when we appointed the builder, we had a big discussion about whether we should be removing the chimney breasts in the first place or not. Mel wanted to save some money and not remove it.
I'm the accountant, by the way.
I'm the pragmatist, because I knew that if we didn't do it, then we will never ever do it.
Yeah, but you're also the really frugal one, let's be honest here. You're the saver and I'm the spender, so I had to actually at that point be like, hang on a minute, we need to save a bit of money here.
Yes, but in the long term, we'll be saving the money, because in removing the chimney breast, it means that we get a little bit more space, we won't have to do it later, and secondly, if we decide to sell in a couple of years' time, in 10 years' time, we've got extra space with the removal of the chimney breasts than we would be able to have had we kept it.
Yeah, so in the end we spoke to the builder and he said, okay, if we didn't do the chimney breast removal, we could save about £4,000 to £5,000. And we kind of just weighed it up and we thought, you know what, we're never going to do this much structural work again, and basically this is the only time that we're going to be able to remove them. So we just felt it was important to us, so we'll take them out.
And seeing the state of how the property is now, there's no way we'll be able to take it out while we're still living there.
Yeah, there was so much dust, oh my gosh. Like everywhere there was so much dust from the chimney breasts coming out, it was crazy. So the next thing that we have as an update for you guys is the box room and the stairs. On the first floor we haven't got stairs to take us up to the loft, so obviously we need to put new stairs in. And the way that it's going to work is we're going to have to reduce the size of the box room in order to make space for the stairs to go up. Otherwise there wouldn't be enough head height basically, because it's quite a tall house because it's terraced. So this week the builder had the staircase guy come round and give him a quote and have a look at the different options and sort of design, and there's so much to think about. There's actually so much to think about just for stairs, it's ridiculous. So the options were basically have 1 or 2 stairs protruding out into the hallway, or we have one stair going into the kind of box room area and then moving the partition wall for the box room. And so we wanted to have like a nice big desk. The box room was going to be our office area. So if you're going to have a box room which is like only 1.5 meters or 1.4 meters, as the builder was saying, then we're barely even going to be able to fit a decent sized desk in there. So we decided to just have one step protruding into the hallway, because actually it's kind of like dead space, no one's really using it, and it will just take you up into the loft without protruding into the box room anymore.
I'll tell you what, guys, like when the builder was talking about, do we want 2 steps protruding out, do we want it on the left hand side, and I was like, I just want a staircase. Like, how difficult is it to get? It blew my mind. So thankfully, I think you understood more than what I did, but fundamentally, at least we get to keep the box room, we get to keep a desk in it.
And, there were some other things that we then had to think about. So what type of material do we want for the stairs? And, basically the builder was like, do you want real wood on your stairs? And we were like, I don't know. Yeah, like basically no, like how much is that going to cost us? And can we not just have like whatever MDF or whatever, I think you said it was plywood, yeah. So, and anyway, you're going to cover it up, right? Because, I mean, I think people who get real wood probably don't cover it up, but we weren't going to do that.
Yeah.
We don't have the budget for that. And and so we were going to go with like plywood or whatever it is, and probably put carpet on that staircase because it's going up to the loft. And but we were kind of debating about the other staircase downstairs, because, do we want it to match or not? Not sure. But actually having wood on that staircase might look a bit nicer as people walk into the house, but it might be a bit slippery. So the only other thing that we were thinking about is also the banisters. We want to make the banisters look a bit more modern, and so this is actually an additional expense that we hadn't really thought about, to be honest. So we've decided, having looked on Pinterest and having looked online, we'd really like some wooden kind of banisters with glass on the inside, rather than having the kind of wooden spindles that most banisters have these days. The glass would also allow more light to come through into the staircase. So that's what we were thinking about. We're going to have to get a quote on that, and we'll let you guys know roughly what that costs once we do.
So for those of you who remember our last video, you would remember we got into a little bit of a debate as to whether we should be cleaning or boarding up the roof beams on the floor of the loft. Now, rather embarrassingly, we learned very quickly that we misunderstood what the builder was asking us. He basically said, we don't really have a choice in whether we want to board up the flooring or not. We have to do it regardless. So that was a cost that we had not anticipated that we needed to pay. The question that he had for us was whether we spend an extra £500 to clean the floors. Now, at the time when we were there, this was when I was in the loft when he was asking me this question. So obviously I was quite far up. I wasn't feeling very safe, so a quick decision had to be made. But
I think he did that on purpose.
But when we realised that actually we needed to put the boards in anyway, we may as well just pay the £500 and get it all cleaned out. Now, upon reflection, when we went home that evening, we did make a rash decision, and we did it on the basis that we didn't want to delay building work at all. And remember, we only go to the property once a week. We go every Saturday because obviously we're working during the week and we don't really have the time to go in the evening. By the time we get there, the builders would have left. So Saturday's really the only time that we get to go and see the property, understand what was being asked of us, understand what the cost was, how that related to our overall budget, because our budget is quite tight. So anything that we need to add to it we're going to be over budget, and that's not something that we're prepared for. So going forward, any other decisions that we need to make and it costs money that we haven't accounted for, I think we just need to take the time and really think about it.
Somebody asked me this week if we could do a video on like how to budget for home renovations. I said, yeah, we could do a video on how not to budget on home renovations.
So even though we made that option, albeit it was rash, but the decision was made, the builder made substantial progress in actually cleaning the house. So as you can see in these videos, the dirt has come off from the ceilings, the plaster's come off, and the house, when we walk in, feels a lot cleaner. There's not much dust in the air now. We don't necessarily have to wear our masks. It's not just for COVID. And because he's taken the plaster off, it now enables us to put spotlights in the ceilings if we would like to. I'm not entirely sure if we've decided whether we want to do that or not.
We have.
But we appreciate the option to be able to do so now.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you about this. I may have made an executive interior design decision.
Oh, really?
Already, yeah.
Okay.
So I think it'd be really cool to have 2 spotlights over the bedside tables in each of the rooms. So I think we might do that. I mean, it's not huge, like 2 spotlights is not going to, you know, set the world on fire, but it will allow us to have a bit more kind of mood lighting in the different rooms, and then we can layer it with some other lighting as well. You're welcome.
Talk about this later.
Anyway, guys, so that's our update for today. This is our weeks 2 and 3 update, so we hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to check out our other videos about where we've come to so far, and we'll be doing another update for you shortly, so we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.